Welcome back. House of Representatives member Francis Waive from Ughelli North, Ughelli South, Udi Federal Constituency speaks about the resolutions reached at the just concluded retreat on the implementation of the Petroleum Industry Act. He also gives his view on the quest for state police.
For me, the Workers' Day is a day to celebrate the dignity of labor. Particularly in this age and time when many young people believe that the best thing to do is to pursue wealth without labor. So Labor Day is a day to direct them in the right direction, that there is dignity in labor. It's also a day to celebrate those of us, or those Nigerians who are putting in their best, working there, both in the formal and informal sector, to make our country move forward, to make life comfortable for everyone. Those working in different sectors, transportation, electricity, you name it, those in government service, in the private sector. It's a time to celebrate them and say thank you to them for a job well done, that they are doing well. For this year particularly, the major issue that comes to mind is the pay, the worker's pay, whether it takes the worker home, whether it's a good take-home pay. And I'm glad that government is addressing that. And negotiations are on. So it was a good day to celebrate workers and a good day to draw government attention to the negotiations that are on. And we are glad that we are moving forward as a country. First, I must commend His Excellency, the Right Honorable Speaker of the 10th House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, PhD. This man is a bundle of knowledge and vision. He's clear-minded where he wants to take the House to, and Nigeria for that matter. You know, so with the high turnover rate of members, he knows that the issue here, there will be a need for capacity building, and he's been doing that since we resumed in this 10th Assembly. There have been a couple of capacity building sessions, and he's engaged or networking with civil society and international donor organizations that have capacity to build capacity of members. And what happened this week is just one of them. The one that happened this week, the PIA, Petroleum Industry Act, as well as the various legislation on taxation, were the main discussion on the first day, such that members of the House would have a clear idea of what those laws contain. And then also know the lacuna in the law, the gaps, those places that would possibly need amendment. These were extensively discussed. We had people from the industry and the private sector come to talk to us about these two important legislations, which will impute on the revenue generation capacity of the country. Because if we don't generate high revenue, we cannot fund our budget. You know, other than these two, we also looked at the legislative agenda of the 10th House of Representatives and other issues. I personally learned a lot, and I know that many of my colleagues left there enriched knowledge-wise, and we are ready for work in terms of all the areas that we discussed. Of course, when everybody now knows if you are bringing a bill or a motion, it should follow the 10th Assembly's agenda. And then the PIB, we now have an idea of the areas that need to be worked upon, that needs to be touched. The same thing with the various taxation laws. We now know the areas where people are suffering, companies particularly, are suffering double taxation, triple taxation, and like one of the presenters said, some people get up to 40 different types of taxes that they pay. So it's our business as lawmakers to look at all this, harmonize these, and see that the ease of doing business in Nigeria is ensured. That's our goal, and that's what Mr. Speaker is trying to achieve, such that when we have this understanding of the existing legislation and what is on ground in industry, we can move forward to profile solution with our legislative powers. During this retreat, there were talks about the community, host communities, pipeline communities, and this 3% issue, and the implementation by the oil companies, oil prospecting companies. That's an area. The NNPCL has just released some regulations now to ensure that those aspects, that those community aspects that were not covered by the law will not be covered by that, their own regulation. We are studying those regulations with a view of making them part of the law so that it becomes enforceable in court, and then the IOCs will not be able to escape them. Those regulations we are looking at. And then we also looked at the implementation. From our discussion, only about 50% of the community trust funds are being set up. So what's the challenge that these companies are facing? So we looked at all that. So those are some of the things we are going to correct. Then, very, very importantly, we had thought that with the PIB being signed into law in 2021, there will be a rush of investment, foreign direct investment into the oil industry. That has not happened. So we're investigating the reason why that has not happened. So we'll be having engagements with the organized private sector in the petroleum industry, gas industry, to find out why is it so. So if there are areas that are a problem to them, we'll be able to fine-tune that so that the investment we are looking for we can get. Because what we have seen is rather de-investment. They are selling off their assets. The only thing that looks like progress is they are going offshore. But if you look at the quantum of those leaving, compared with the new investments offshore, Nigeria is not making any gains at the moment. One beautiful thing you will notice is that unlike previously when even within the House there is a disagreement on state police, setting up of state police, this time you find that it's almost unanimous. The dissenting voices are not really saying no per se. What they are looking at is the modalities, like President Jonathan, former President Jonathan mentioned. And for me particularly, I am looking at state policing being implemented to the level of local government and communities. Otherwise, the problem we are now facing nationally will also become a problem at the state level, where there will be these same problems I don't want to go into. But all over the world, it's community policing. New York Police Department, London Metropolitan Police. You hear of such, these are not a national police infrastructure. So I believe we are making progress. It's a constitutional matter. The Constitutional Review Committee will be moving forward to review all the presentations that came in that, what I would call public hearing, because during the second reading of the bill sponsored by the Deputy Speaker and a number of other lawmakers, that debate in the second reading, past second reading, and was referred to the Constitutional Review Committee. So what happened could even be taken as their public hearing. So they're going to be reviewing the contribution and submissions of members of the public, and that will form the final decision, which of course by our law will go through the 36 state houses of assembly, and we hope we'll get to 10 of them concurring. I wouldn't agree with you that some states already have state police. It would be illegal to do that. What the current Police Act permits is it's a community cooperation with the DPO in that area where some vigilante group are recognized. That's what the present Police Act supports. Although we have had some regional security outfits in the southwest and some other parts of the country. Those I wouldn't want to be strong to say, use strong words to say they are illegal because they are providing vital service at the moment. But what is on ground for amendment in the Constitution is for each state to have its own police force, not a regional thing. We must, as a country, continue to do those things that will emphasize those things that will bring us together as a nation, and not begin to go tend towards regionalism and tribalism. Those will not help us. But at the state level, yes, we must, when the law has gone into effect, that can take place. But for this regional thing, for me, it's a no-no. Kwama's matter is something that whenever I talk about it, I feel very bad. Very bad. First, because 17 military personnel lost their lives in the most gruesome manner, in the most barbaric manner, condemnable, sad. But linking it with my people is challenging. We must not say that because it happened around Ukwama, that it was done by the Ukwama people. Because investigations will tell us who did that. And this has brought hardship on my people. The king of Ewu, which is over that clan, of which Ukwama is just one of the communities, was in detention for over 3 weeks thereabout. That was very humiliating to us, and to me as a person, as the honorable member representing them. And very importantly, the human suffering. Women, children, the aged were in the forest, in the bush, without food and water and medicine. In fact, those that would lose their lives in those situations will even be more than those that the soldiers eventually could have killed. I don't want to say they killed anybody until investigations reveal the situation. But one thing you can take from here is that that community has been leveled down by the army. Only 2 buildings standing. The Anglican church there and a block of classrooms. Every other building is down. Well, we are now in that situation of the OD situation that happened years ago. So there are going to be reconstruction. There must be reconstruction. I'm grateful that our state governor, His Excellency, Right Honorable Sheriff of Boremori, has done his best to get the displaced persons out of the forest, out of the bush, and started an IDP camp and trying to take care of them. Over here, we're also trying to get NEMA to provide some humanitarian assistance. But it's a very sad occurrence, and I personally desire that investigations will be impartial and reveal the true perpetrators of that barbaric act, and that they must be brought to book. They sent me here, my constituents sent me here, and my business is to serve them in the 3 main functions of a lawmaker, of a legislator. 1, lawmaking; 2, oversight; 3, representation. I believe I've done this satisfactorily. That is why I have made history as the first honorable member representing Ughelli North, Ughelli South, and Udu Federal Constituency of Delta State to be re-elected back to back. It's because I've served them very well. And I am not boasting, but I'm proud of my people that they recognize good work. Some people don't recognize it, but the people of Ughelli North, Ughelli South, and Udu, they recognize that I have given them good representation. I'm present on the floor, so any matter that concerns our people, I'm there to speak for our people. And our people are very proud of that. They tell me, as I go around the constituency, my work is such that the other day I went home and I went to the market to see somebody, and women, everybody was coming around without one policeman and without any form of security. Some wanted me to pray for them as a pastor. Some wanted to bring their personal problems, the normal ones, school fees, house rent, hospital bills, But then, the freedom with which I could relate with my people, move into a market alone, So it shows that we have served our people. Over these 5 years, we have built a block of classrooms in 15, 20 schools, over 15 transformers in different communities, communities that have been reconnected to the national grid, well over 10. You know, street lights have been provided in nearly 20 communities. And one beautiful one that my people like, the home, solar home grid for each family to be able to have electricity, charge their phone, you know, beautiful thing for particularly rural communities. I can go on and on. We even tarred, constructed road for our people, you know, so it's something that excites me that I'm privileged to serve the people of Ughelli North, Ughelli South, and Udu Federal Constituency. These are some of the most educated people in the country, and it's one of the largest federal constituencies. For them to have that confidence in me, oh boy, I am excited, I'm humbled, and I will continue to serve them to the best of my ability.
That's all on the program for this week. Do not forget that Hallowed Chambers will be repeated on Sunday at 7 a.m. Also, you can see this episode again on TVC News YouTube channel. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you for watching. I am Tijesu Adeoye. See you next time.